Hello, everybody. This is Gerald Salenti, and it's Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023. And your new Trends Journal coming out soon to a little couple of hours. And another great cover. And here it is. It tells the story. You hear about Tucker Carlson? Yep. None of what's going on in Ukraine is important to the people anymore. It's barely in the news. And when it's in the news, it's only one side of what you're hearing. But Tucker Carlson's gone. Now that's news. And I'm mentioning this, by the way, not whether you like Tucker Carlson or dislike him. One person out of the whole crew of prostitutes out there that doesn't spew out the same crap as 99.99999%, boop, you're out of here. That's what they call democracy. There is none. They spelt it wrong, but we spell it right in our Trends Journal because we have a number of stories here, a number of articles in your new Trends Journal about democracy. Here we go. Here's a couple here. Democracy. Give the French president the finger, get fined, and go to jail. So they spell it wrong. It's DUHMOCKRACY. Democracy. Somebody gave the president of three guys gave the president the middle finger of France, 15,000 euro fine and a year in jail. Hey, you can't tell the president to go fuck off. Oh, you can't even say that. You can't even give. And by the way, who decided which fingers is a bad finger? Why, in the transgender finger world, they all mean the same. Democracy. It just keeps going on. Here, the U.S. Democracy. Billionaires back Biden. That's one of the stories in this week's Trends Journal. Billionaires, you got no money? Get the fuck out of here. Who the fuck are you to run for anything? Shut your goddamn mouth. The rich own everything and we'll tell you what to do. And get back to work in Slavelandia. Democracy. DUHMOCKRACY. Look at the fucking freaks running the show. Here. It's one of the big news is that AOC isn't going to run against the other clown that's in the Senate, Gillibrand. Look at the story. This is the main story. The main story, front page of CNN. AOC won't run against Gillibrand in the 2024 primary. Oh, and the other one, American mountaineer dies climbing. That's news. But going back to the AOC, how about Minnie Mouse won't run against Clarabelle? I mean, let's make this straight. Look at the fucking freaks running and ruining our lives. I like Chucky Schumer, Lindsay to come out of the closet, yet Graham, Diane not so Feinstein, little Chucky Schumer. Look at it. Look at it. Democracy. And you got no money, you can't run. Again, that's one of your stories. So anyway, going back to what's going on. We're giving you what nobody else is because they just show you the crap that you're getting. Oh, Vice they're talking about now going into bankruptcy. All of them, Vice, Vox, BuzzFeed buzzing down, Business Insider firing people, one media outlet after another letting people go. You know why? Because all they do is spew out the same stuff. The Trends Journal is the only magazine in the world that gives you in-depth socioeconomic and geopolitical trends analysis and trend forecasts. And as you're looking at the news today, our forecasts are history before it happens. Because let's take a look at the markets. Oh, they were down about, what, 367 points? Hey, wait a minute. Jamie Dimon said, hey, now that we took over that bank, everything's fine. Oh, the Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan Chase that's been fined for 5 felonies? Hey, everything's fine. What's the matter with you, Salenti? Hey, it's okay. Everything's going to be all right. No, it's not. This banking crisis has just begun. The banking crisis has just begun. And now is the time to understand that the trend is your friend. And this is the time to get on trend because they're way behind on this. Now what they're all talking about is the banking bust that's coming up. Why? Oh, I forgot. Commercial real estate sector, which we have specials in this Trends Journal, and we've been doing them for a lot of weeks now on the office building bust. They're all starting to talk about it now, one after another. The office vacancy rate, not the occupancy rate, the vacancy rate in Los Angeles is around 30%. In San Francisco, it's around almost 30%. These are vacant. The crime, the homeless, the drug dealing. So you look today, what happened with gold prices? Oh, they went up like $33. About $2,014 an ounce. Oh, they're worried about the banking crisis? Oh, and tomorrow, the Fed's going to raise interest rates. 99% of the street believes, or about 95, 25 basis points. That's going to bring the economy down further. And that's when gold becomes the safe haven asset. And then the EU on Thursday, you saw the numbers come in. Well, they're in the Trends Journal about the economy and the recession, inflation rather. They're going to raise interest rates. What is all that going to mean? Oh, you see the oil prices today? Oh, they only went down like Brent crude about over $4. This thing's slowing down big. But don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Take it easy. When all else fails, they take you to war. And of course, in your Trends Journal, we write a lot about that. And there's part of it. Yep. We have the special sections on the Ukraine war update, what's going on, more fear of nuclear war. And of course, the market overview in market update in this economic update and market overview in this Trends Journal, you're not going to want to miss. Because it has to do with the banking crisis. It has to do with interest rates. It has to do with the dollar. And now, again, you go back to your Trends Journal cover on April 4th, the death of the dollar, and now it's around everywhere you want to look. More and more people are talking about it. And an article in here you're not going to want to miss on the economic front by Gregory Mannarino, Something Will Give. Yep, he's right. The entire system is breaking. This is the time to get on trend. Again, don't believe me. Think for yourself. Look at the news. BuzzFeed, Vice, Vox, Business Insider, firing people, going down big. Why? They're all repeating the same stuff with different words. This is the time to plan ahead. And again, Trends in Technocracy by Joe Duran. And this technocracy thing is just getting worse and worse. A number of articles over here on technocracy. And again, even when you look at, when we write about each week, the layoffs going on, now they're estimating that because of technocracy, some 300 million jobs will be lost around the globe. And Joe Duran reports on this and other information that you need to get ahead of the trend. This is serious what's going on. I've been in this for 43 years. Never have I been so concerned about the socioeconomic and geopolitical future of the United States and the world. And again, great trends by Dr. Joseph Mercola. World Health Organization prepares global takeover. Again, going back to technocracy, tying this together. What great articles. Featured guest article by Susan Burdick, which is a PhD. I'm rolling out 5G and how it's so great for us. Yeah. I'd be facetious, of course, because it's going to have, quote, devastating health effects. And what else do we have here? Oh, a great article by another one by John Whitehead, John and Nisha Whitehead, and he's going to be one of the speakers here. John Whitehead, look him up at the Rutherford Institute. Brilliant man, a real American, a real fighter for freedom, peace, and justice. And he's going to be one of the speakers here coming up May 27th, right here in Kingston, New York, on the Four Corners of Freedom. We have Frank Morano, Gary Null, others. We've got big names coming. So make sure you're here because we're fighting for freedom, peace, and justice. What else do we have? U.S. mega banks write off $3.1 billion in bad loans. It just keeps getting worse. And then over there in Ukraine, they're talking now more and more about hitting Crimea, blew up a oil depot. Oh, the war in oil prices. Remember the Middle East meltdown. It's ramping up again in Israel. Israel is bombing Gaza. Gaza's sending missiles into Israel. They say because the guy died in jail of a hunger strike, a Palestinian. It's ramping up over there. And Syria yesterday bombs away again, Israel rather, bombs away again in Syria, blowing up again the Aleppo airport, hitting it, an international airport. So there's a lot going on, and we're doing everything we can to keep you ahead of the trends. And again, Trends in High-Tech Science by Ben Davis, Trends Eye Views, Get Fat, Take Drugs, Weight Loss Pill Bonanza, while Jenny Craig is losing places. Don't get healthy, don't eat great, and don't talk about the side effects from the drugs that you take to lose weight, and on and on. Yeah, this is the article, Godfather of AI quits out of concern for what his life work means to humanity. So we're giving you, and another one, Democracy. Again, that's the U.S. democracy, DUHMOCKRACY. IRS on hiring spree, must be willing to shoot and kill. Isn't that nice? Yep. And don't think for yourself, ABC, network senses RFK, on and on and on. We're giving you the news, but we give you the trends analysis and the trend forecasts. So go to trendsjournal.com, hit the subscribe button. Let other people know what we're doing, because we're doing everything for you. And here it is. This is what they're talking about. While the world is going to hell. And we have to change the course. It does not take a majority to prevail, but rather an irate, tireless minority, keen on setting brush fires of freedom in the minds of men, said Samuel Adams. And we are that irate, tireless minority. And we must unite. May 27th, Four Corners of Freedom, starting at 1 p.m. in Kingston, New York. See you there.
The Trends Journal, the best investment you could make, because it's the best investment into your mind, and it can change how you look at the world.
Over the last 30 years, Gerald Celente has been more accurate about predicting what would be happening than anyone else I'm aware of.
The Trends Journal is one of the greatest sources of information, and and it really is. You're predicting these things well ahead of time. I would encourage everyone to go grab the latest copy.
Been a Trends Journal subscriber for 20 years. I just have to commend you. What you guys have put together in your latest Trends Journal, there's nothing like this out there.
Sir, everything that you predicted about the economy, you were absolutely right. So I have followed you all this time. So please take a look at the Trends Journal.
You correctly forecast that the Fed would hike rates quite aggressively, correctly said that initially gold and silver would drop as the Fed starts to raise rate to 1.5% and above. When we spoke last, Bitcoin was around 49,000. You said you expect to drop, and if it drops below 30, 35, then it could really drop.
Trends Journal, which I would encourage people to go and check out. It's actually a 200-page document, pure data-driven analysis.
Gerald Celente, the top trends forecaster in the world. Gerald, you had an interesting call back in September of last year. You said gold had bottomed, which is exactly what happened. And here we are, and we're above $1,900.
Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happened at trendsjournal.com.